massive showdown here. What a cooler. Here to put in an additional raise.
Yeah, I think he's going to go like 8,600, something like that. 6,000. Interesting. Pretty small, considering their stack sizes. Does put Cho in an interesting spot because she thought she limped with a monster, and now look at the action.
She is glancing over at Waxman's chips, getting a sense of how deep these stacks are here.
She would be in position against Waxman. She thinks Palmer's just going to call a bunch. It is a profitable call.
Now, Palmer with ace-jack of spades is getting a much better price now that this is three ways.
Yeah, they're deep enough. He's got enough equity being in position. I mean, he's going to be in trouble on a lot of ace-high boards and jack-high boards, but just one of those things where you got to see it, and he flops top pair here and is in prime position. Oh, actually, the clubs. Waxman with ace-king of clubs. Oh, we're looking at a big confrontation here.
85 indeed. Action on Arden Cho, who has Palmer to worry about behind her as well. Tens shrinking a little bit. Could see him go in any which direction. He did start the hand with 82,000, so he's got...
He's really being the worst hand.
Yeah, he's tossing in the muck. Wow.
Wow. Ace-jack, top two pair, or sorry, top pair, top kicker into the muck here.
Yeah, it's that factor. You don't want to lose the main event with the old ace-jack there, you know. You lose it on the feature table. Everyone's telling you it's obvious you had kings or aces. Looks like he's going for a bet. Looks like 12.5 he's going to go with. Little 1/3 sizing, 35% pot.
Now, of course, alarm bells going off for Waxman, but also for Arden Cho. Given the dynamic we just explained, she also has to give Waxman a pretty tight range.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Waxman here wants to see a river. Did she call?
I saw a quick movement there, and it did look like a call.
I think she raised him all in.
Oh, wow.
I think she might have sniffed out that Waxman was a little bit hesitant there to bet.
It's kind of crazy because this hand is nuts, but Arden Cho, at the end of the day, still has the best hand here.
Yeah, no, she does. I mean, she sussed out what was going on. She waded through the waters of a tough hand where she had to do a lot of hand reading, got the best hand to fold on the flop. Think about it, ace-jack on the flop, and now we have Arden Cho putting the pressure on Waxman. So, I mean, man, if she keeps playing like that, she's going to be an interesting watch for this main event.
And Matt Waxman, with a face filled with agony, lets it go. Let's see if Arden has anything to say here.
You got anything next hand there?
A jack.
What you have?
Yeah, so I had you.
What you have? Tens? He's a psychopath.
That's not a psychopath.
He's playing the main event tomorrow as, Zoom mode still active. HELLMUTH back in the mix. Morris deciding whether he wants to call this 3-bet because the action went as follows. Gupta made it 1,100 under the gun. Morris called. Then HELLMUTH made it 8,000
from the small blind.
From the small with Jack-5 off.
I take back what I said earlier. Do you remember I said, like, after he 4-bet with the 9 deuce, I said that's the last time he's going to be doing something like that, but it is not.
Yeah, so
he's done it again.
HELLMUTH getting called in 2 spots as 4, 6, 8 with 2 clubs rolls off the deck. HELLMUTH decides to check. Gupta misses. Morris's 9s looking strong here.
It's a pretty good flop for HELLMUTH. Actually has the jack of clubs and a gut shot with the 5 here. It's like, yeah, as good of a flop as he can hope for with this hand, basically. It's going to be interesting to see what he does if Morris bets here. HELLMUTH could just end up winning this hand. If Morris like puts out a small bet here, I could see HELLMUTH just check raising and winning the hand.
Feels like HELLMUTH wanted to get aggressive here before the flop. Continuing now would get really expensive.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. Wait, is he calling?
Wow, he's calling with the Jack-5. Phil HELLMUTH is in a different universe than we are.
And now he's going to lead a bunch of turns, I guess?
I mean, it's Phil HELLMUTH. Hard to predict.
I would imagine he leads now. I would imagine he leads.
24,000.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, HELLMUTH leading for 24K on the turn. Morris with pocket 9s. Now, of course, he just showed the Jack-deuce with the 4-bet.
The 9 deuce, yeah.
The 9 deuce. Espen, how do we interpret this from Morris's perspective? He has a real hand.
I hate my life here in Morris's shoes, honestly. I hate it so much.
Well, the big concern, of course, is what is he going to do on the river if I call here?
I would love to see a call here and a blank river.
Absolutely massive pot here.
I would love to see if HELLMUTH has the balls to just pull the trigger here on like the 3 of hearts river.
Now, what makes this even more
Nah, it's
interesting
folding.
is the fact, oh wow, he does let it go. Are we going to see it again? No. Quick into the muck. HELLMUTH with Jack 5 off. Zoom mode in full force. Up to 124K. In here. Jack 9-6 all diamonds. GORTNEY flops the nut flush.
I mean, this is a flop.
Henry flops middle set. Dobos flops top pair with diamonds. Now we know that those diamonds are no good.
Was this the flop you were talking about? 'Cause this is about as good as it gets. I mean, the only thing that would make it better is if we could change the 6 to the 3 of diamonds.
6,700 in the
We
middle.
can't even do that, actually.
No, 3 of diamonds belongs to GORTNEY as Henry tosses out 3,600.
Now, what GORTNEY does here is really going to be a big factor to how Dobos approaches this hand.
From my perspective, Dobos probably just going to call here. And there it is. The call has been put out. We're going to see a turn card. Henry looking for a board pair. Dobos doesn't know it, but he is looking fade the card that he thinks that he needs. Turn card is the 9 of clubs. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, Henry has just hit quads.
You cannot be serious here. Not only has he hit quads, his opponents have pretty good hands. Of course, GORTNEY has the nut flush that he flopped, and Dobos is still over there with top pair, that's now 2 pair, and the king high flush draw. I mean, this is absolutely wild.
Henry trying to remain as calm as possible. 17-5 in the middle after Dobos checked. He's going to bet 6,400. Action on GORTNEY.
And GORTNEY over there, he thinks the one that he's slow playing.
Call.
Just makes the call again.
Let's see if he gets scared off by this board pairing.
I mean, all he needs is a jack to feel as though he's got something. Now, of course, Henry with quads has a lock on this hand in a spot where he can potentially make a lot of chips. Now, will the board pair scare away perhaps a big bet on the river?
Well, the board pairing makes Dobos here think better of it, and he does get out of the way, so saving himself possible further damage.
10 of spades completes the board. Henry with quads. Probably not even aware, Donnie, of how strong GORTNEY's hand is here.
You could view GORTNEY as having, just the ace of diamonds in your hand, right? If you think you got more, maybe you just go for it. If you think he's got a pretty good jack, go for it. He does have chips in hand.
Yeah, shuffling those red 5K chips. 16-3 is the bet, and GORTNEY calls it off with the nut flush. He's going to see the bad news.
You good? Is that quad 9? Yeah.
No emotion from either player.
I know.
A little chuckle
What do
here
you
from
got?
GORTNEY.
1,000.
Ross finds ace
he give you
king,
a
comes in
cover
for the
for it?
raise.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
It's been very active as well.
Is there any
Last couple
English
orbits.
ones in there?
English?
And look at this. We
Like,
have
what do you want, like soccer?
COURNUT and KOURY in the blinds with
any
strong
English
hands.
players? There's some from Taiwan.
I'm going to get you an F1 box?
Sure.
Look at
F1's
this flop.
Wow.
They make F1
Ace, queen,
also. They make
jack.
really good F1.
2 players with top 2 pair,
They make
and
everything.
KOURY flops
They
a
learn
set,
Fanatics
and it goes
pieces,
check,
every
check, check
form,
real
everything
quick.
you can think of.
Second
Garbage
flush
pail
draw on the
cans,
turn.
MMA.
Now, who's gonna do the
UFC,
betting here?
You need a
WWE.
poker one. You would be like the big
You know,
The Jared
you want to hear what's
card.
you,
Watch it.
how about
2,400
this?
here
They
from
make Disney
COURNUT.
cards. The boxes of Disney each over $1,000 for Disney cards.
I believe it.
Corey comes along with the call. Now, is Ross going to kick it up here? And are you surprised to see Corey not raise here, Donnie? River is the 8 of spades. Donnie, that's no concern for the ace-queen players, and it's extra security for Corey.
COURNUT's going to keep firing at this one.
56.
This is going to be interesting now. Corey with the full house. Makes
Just
the
calls.
Makes the call with the full house. Not wanting to risk any more chips here. Ross tosses his ace-queen into the muck.
2 pair.
This box is going to be low.
Wow, I am surprised the pot is this small, Donnie.
He was very, very tough. Very formidable as an opponent. Would not like to see him again, so thankfully he's playing day 1A.
Was he sipping on beverages or was he locked in?
No, he was locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, very locked in.
Of course, we know that from No Gamble, No Future that he also plays a mean game while drinking. As we go back to our main feature table and the potential here of an enormous one, Donnie.
Yeah, Hashem's got a heart draw here, the nut heart draw against YERUSHALMI's top set of queens. And then 2 pair for REHMANI, and we know REHMANI likes to get aggressive, and he stated earlier, you know, I'm going for it or I'm going home. Interesting start to this hand. YERUSHALMI limped with the queens. REHMANI limped behind. Hashem was the raiser, and then both players called.
All right, well, we're going to see 3-way action on the river here. It is the jack of clubs, and we have full house versus full house. Fasten your seatbelts. This might get ugly. I mean, also some
11,000.
backdoor flush potential here that REHMANI might be thinking that his opponent is looking at.
25.
And a quick raise to 25K. Of course, Hashem out of the way. Action back on YERUSHALMI.
I have no idea how REHMANI would ever be able to put YERUSHALMI on
All
a set
in.
of queens. He's gonna
Call is
snap it
made.
off.
Massive showdown here.
Oh.
One way to do it.
What a cooler.
We both are like, woo!
Full house versus full house. And REHMANI, happy anniversary to
$6 getting shot.